Hey everyone, welcome back to the shop. And now, let's talk about something completely different. Talking about that big orange elephant in the room. Because I'm still waiting on parts to get back to work on the stomp. And I'm even having a difficult time possibly right now trying to get the nitrate dope. So what I'm going to do is I had a little issue with Taylorcraft. If you guys watched that video where it was the Battle of the Smokers, it was me against the Waco. And yeah, this has really good smoke, and I think I might have got him on the smoke where it looked really good. But unfortunately, no, the muffler loosened up, it vibrated, and what it did is it blew out the gasket. And then when I hit this, I couldn't tell at the distance, but when I hit the smoke pump, for some reason, it just sucked some of the oil into the cylinder just because it was rattling. Yeah, dead sticked it. So plane was fine. You guys that watch the video, the plane's fine, no wrong with the plane. But what I want to do is I'm going to take the cowling off today, and we'll take the muffler off and see if there was damage done to the threads, because if there was in the cylinder head, it's going to be what am I going to do to fix it, because that's a 1980, mid-80s 61cc Sachs Dolmar with the Mahl cylinder on it, and it's a little powerhouse. And that was what was originally put in the airplane when they built this plane back in about 1986, 87. And so I decided that when I do the restoration on it, it was going to fly that same motor. And I love that motor. It's a really good grunt. It's got a low end grunt to it. And when it's sitting there idling on the ground, you know it means business. So anyway, let me go ahead. I'll get the GoPro fired up and I'll show you just kind of what we're going to be diving into just from a little bit closer up, more personal. All right, now. Oh boy, where to begin? All right, here's what we're looking at. This, you can see the exhaust is loose. And I've got to take everything off, and then you'll get a good look and see how, because this exhaust was all custom made. I custom made the whole thing myself. And, you know, with the hopes that I don't think the problem's on my end. I think it's just because I burned that gasket up. Because I didn't have good enough gasket material. It was really not designed for an exhaust system, but I have used it before in the past on my quarter scale Piper Cub. It's the same gasket material and never had a problem with it. So what we're going to do is I'll take this all off, and then let's just take a look and see what obstacles we're going to face. All right, I've got everything taken off, and as you can see, I safety wired this thing so that they cannot spin back, and that was my whole deal, was I didn't want these things backing up. So you can see, just, you know, I used to race motorcycles, so I know how to safety wire. I kind of went a little overkill on this one. I wrapped it so that way this couldn't spin in either direction. So because it's got the X cross pattern, it's just stopping rotation entirely. So that's why that pretty much just got... sorry about that. See this back and forth play here? This is what I don't like, because if these things are locked in solid, how are the threads inside there? So let me set this down and I'll make a little speedy up of me trying to get this apart. And so far that's looking pretty good. I'm not seeing any threads pulled out. Let's see what the other side looks like when I get it out. It's just being a little more stubborn than that side was. We need a bigger driver. A Baker driver. As big as my metric goes. Better be it. Oh yeah. Yeah, this side feels like it's got a good bind to it. And there goes part of the gasket. Okay. It's out, and we're looking halfway decent. Let me get the rest of the gasket off and let's take a look. Alright, it's feeling pretty decent. Almost like it's got something a little boogered up on the end. I'm going to see if I can run a tap through there very gingerly to see if I can figure out how it's binding up on the other end. I'll bring it back when I get that cleaned, because this side's good. Alright, I went ahead, I put new bolts in it. You know, I mean, they were, sorry about that, focus. Alright, they were okay. One of them, you can tell the problem I was having with the poorly repaired threads on this side is that it was kind of boogering up the end. So I tried to grind it down a little bit just to get it to make sure that we can get it in deep enough, and that problem would not go away. So I ended up putting some 6mm washers in there and going down to the hardware store, getting 2 new bolts, and went ahead and cranked those in. As you can see, I've got the high temp silicone in there and Loctite red on this side. It's iffy. The front is questionable. When you're snugging it up, it doesn't feel like it's binding up tight. So yeah, we'll fire this one up. We'll do some testing on it, not today, somewhere probably a month or so down the line. We'll get it out front, get it hot, and just to see how it performs. If it stays like it is, and you know, we'll go with it until, you know, we have a problem in flight, and you know, hopefully make it back to the field. So yeah. So anyway, let me get this thing all buttoned back up and get back upstairs where it's nice and heated year round. And then we'll get the stomp back down here on the bench, and hopefully we'll get some hardware in. There's a teaser on the hardware. Thanks, Craig. All right, that was just a quickie, painless little video for you guys to watch. So yeah, so let me get, like I said, I'll get everything in down here, and hopefully I will be getting the hardware I was looking for, which is the control horns. And they're saying now possibly tomorrow. If you live in the Chicagoland area, you know what happens to bulk mail. It goes down by O'Hare and sits there for at least a week. So, and then they'll ship it out to your house. It's the way it works out here in Chicago. So anyway, see you guys next time back down here in the shop.